The transmission of pictograph cybernetics works through a holistic light love process where the multiple tracings of light interlace the species hierarchies of the Adamic seed with the infinite hierarchies of those universes which comprise the mind of Yahweh. Each galactic mind expansion requires the collection of four additional groups of brain clusters, which are in alignment with us but exist on their corresponding pyramid levels. The synchronizing of those who share a common image takes place before the next levels of godhood can be achieved within the cosmic pyramid in infinite cycles of our galaxy when directed by the God level 1 pyramidal focus, which is the communication link with at least four brain clusters at God level 0 status. The pyramidal focus allows instructions to beam from one central pyramid to the surrounding pyramid centers of evolutionary growth, nurturing growth to elementary God levels. Thus, the four additional clusters complete their evolutionary growth at the God level 1 status through their own ability to send forth knowledge to surrounding centers of evolution. Each new God level 1 group then begins recruiting its God level 0 civilization through multiple tracings of life to join with other God level groups that comprise the hierarchy of the local universe. The pictograph radiations reach the brains that are ready to participate at an infinitely expanding scale of knowledge throughout their universe. Each brain operates within a cluster of the next level of expansion. Mathematically, the individual brains involving our local universe create a function K9b equals 5NB. Their K equals the cosmological constant, NB equals individual brain clusters, and n lowercase n and capital B equals the number of expansions of an augmented brain cluster. Thus, the Word of God unfolds in units of 5, 25, 125, 625, 3,125, 15,625 pyramids. By recruiting the human race through its brain cluster in conjunction with the other levels of physical and over-self reality, the expanding brain pyramid can be moved up an entire level on the God scale within the cosmic pyramid of the galaxy. The pyramid is the most central module for this infinite expansion of consciousness throughout our local universe. When the pyramid exists in a pure energy form, it allows for a wide variety of signals to move through it, transmitting anything from concrete matter to high frequency light currents which interconnect with other worlds, thereby providing instant media between all points of origin. Thus, when the pyramid as a pure energy form is connected with multiple tracings of light, it allows for anything from intuitive understanding to direct information to come into the pyramid and leave the pyramid on all sides by expanding wavelength forms. For new points of communication, for the pyramid is the cornerstone of knowledge and in the education of the human self by the overself. It is seen as hovering within a field of light known as the 8th chakra, for the 8th chakra is used to open up the energy envelope of the human creation and provides direct communication at all times with those of the Great White Brotherhood. And this hovering pyramid of light can be seen by the brothers, even in the physical flesh, and is the witness of the resurrection of the flesh. I was told by Enoch that the light pictographs will seal the bodies that will be resurrected. These seals will maintain the awareness of the mind to fight off the temptations of death as the soul is removed to other worlds, having first been glorified by the letters that seal the soul in the Father's book of life. The man who sees and understands this is he who enjoys union with the Father's language of light. He enjoys unlimited freedom to move into other realms of consciousness, for he is above any spatial limitation of language. The Father's language respecializes the mind for work with the geometries of the life continuum. Earthbound language has been shaped by a variegated patterns of human thoughts, resulting in morphemus and phonemius, organized into linear sentence structures separated by periods. The periods syntactically produce a consciousness breakage and inactivation of higher free-floating thought forms that were not meant for the limitations of static syntax. Rather, the higher thought forms were meant for the mind's specialization into open geometries of the life continuum. Man will see that everything from his thought forms to catastrophic nuclear explosions do not stop within the limitations of this physical planet. He will understand that there are cycles of light without pyramids of finality. For even the sound waves of previous errors that are now in deep and distant places in space can be perceived and deciphered by the proper instruments. Thus the Lords of Light came down from the higher loka to take on human form and to teach the language of light so that the mind of man can expand to see the dawning of other worlds and other realms of creation, generating the very thought symbols connecting our plan of consciousness to the universal totality of the mind body. In previous cycles, man, under the guidance of the Lords of Light, interpreted the light pictographs into an alphabet of fire, letters, and mathematical geometries known as ideographs, which were also capable of respectualizing any consciousness form that shared this original projection of light. The Lords of Light warned man not to misuse the language of light by using the wrong ebb and flow of the language patterns, or by using the knowledge of the language against the will of the Father. But man did not hearken to the word of the Lord and accepted instructions from the fallen Ophanim, under the command of Sanjaza, who shared many of the eternal secrets of the Father's kingdom, which men were striving to learn. However, these secrets were shared through the art of warfare, the art of spoken and written language, which was corrupted and segmented, resulting in imperfect scriptures and other arts, enchanting man and leading him astray. The fallen instructions also taught the arts of temple building and architecture, and instructed man to build great cities with towers of communication that would unify man with hierarchies of the fallen angels. Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel looked down from heaven and saw how the lawlessness of the planet was being used by the fallen angels to extend their knowledge to other planetary kingdoms. Ooh. They appealed to the throne of Yahweh to put an end to the Tower of Babel and to blind the eyes of the fallen humanity from the language of light. Thus, no longer can the conceptual template of man directly assimilate the teachings of the Lords of Light until his body and mind are recharged by the light emanations of the angelic hierarchies and brotherhoods of light. At this time, changes in the new heavens have caused great changes to occur upon the earth, loosening the chambers of the deep where the great scientific scriptures of the age are hidden. They are being restored to us as an inner tongue, so that we will recognize the sacred letters from the brotherhood working with the Adamic Kadam. Thus we will be able to once again to speak with tongues of fire, known as the change, O watchman of Zion, and know the language of light behind these words. This is what the Lord Yahweh has said. Here I am creating new heavens and new earth, and the former things will not be called to the mind, neither will they come up into the heart. At this time you will use and communicate through your mind's eye in the flashing pictographs of light. No longer will the former things of human speech or the resonance of the fallen Ophanim be called to mind in separating your vibration of light from Yahshua, who comes in the name of Yahweh. Blessed be the letters of Yahshua, Yahweh, 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 Yah.